Good morning, guys. Welcome to today's edition of the Hollywood Steve Wrestling Podcast right here on YouTube, guys. Make sure you guys, before you guys do anything, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right. So I'm just going to kick things off here. We're going to dive right into the news of the day. We're going to dive right into the review of Monday Night Raw. So here we go. The new Judgment Day kicked off Monday night show, celebrating their beatdown of Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest, the Terror Twins from last week. JD McDonough, Carlito, and Finn Balor took turns bragging about their actions before the Women's World Champion Liv Morgan grabbed the mic and ran down Rhea Ripley. Dominic Mysterio attempted to talk, but was booed out of the building by a loud chorus of boos. I love this. I love this. How everybody just boos Dom out of the building. I love it. Then they got interrupted by the LWO and exchanged some words with the heels, with Judgment Day, before an 8-man tag was made official during the commercial break. The tag match was a pretty long one. It stretched across 2 segments and encompassing a commercial break in between that. The heels took turns isolating Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde before a hot tag to Rey Mysterio sparked a babyface comeback. Before he could score the win for his team with a top rope splash, Morgan pulled Dominic out of the way, and the universally despised heel executed a La Magistra Cradle for the pinfall for the win. So Dom got the win with a roll up. Okay, again, Dom beat his dad, but again, he can't do it without the help of Rhea Ripley. He's never been able to beat his dad on his own by himself. So Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest broke up the match between post-match beatdown, broke up a post-match beatdown, and sent a message to their rivals by laying out McDonough and Carlito. And Judgment Day again beat the LWO. Ray lost to Dominic with the help of Rhea Ripley. And I like the Bleacher Report here has some takeaways. This is what I'm going off of, guys. This is since I haven't had a chance to watch it, so this is kind of how I get the review, how I get the results, and so just some three takeaways here from that segment. Top moments and takeaways here was Damian or Rhea saying that you betrayed the Judgment Day and you got exactly what you deserved. Or this is Finn here. This is what Finn said. You betrayed the Judgment Day and you got exactly what you deserved. Without expanding on how Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest actually betrayed the group, so we don't even know. We're not even sure how Priest and Rhea betrayed the group. It was more of Finn and the rest of the group betraying Rhea and Priest, in my opinion, in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what Finn means here by they betrayed them. Is like they betrayed Rhea and Damian Priest. Obviously, Dirty Dom revealed he will compete in the Intercontinental Championship Contenders Tournament, which cool for Dom. Okay, it's nice to see him getting a Intercontinental. Nice to have him in the Intercontinental Championship picture. I think that's kind of okay. I think that's kind of cool. I think that's cool. He's a really good heel. I mean, as much as I can't stand the guy, as much as I think he's just an absolute you know, I don't even know. He's just an absolute disrespectful, you know, dude. You know, he's playing a great heel here. So the opening promo segment, was fine. Gave fans gave fans a quick recap of what occurred last week before transitioning into the match, which was good. So we got kind of a follow up from last week, kind of what happened and leading into the match, last night. The LW always impresses with time, of course. I mean, because you have Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, Cruz del Toro, and Joaquin Wilde. I mean, they're gonna impress. I mean, you have four of the most fantastic wrestlers on the face of the planet. Two of them being Dragon Lee and the Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio, who still can go. I mean, the guy has been wrestling for 20 plus years, over 20 years. He's a Hall of Famer, and he's still doing stuff like this. He's still doing Hurricane Ranas. He's still doing flips. The guy, he is amazing. Mysterio is amazing. So the LWO always impresses with time and definitely I think should be. I agree with this. They should be featured more frequently on Monday Night Raw, which is the absolute truth. They should absolutely be featured more on Monday Night Raw. Absolutely 100% should be featured more. And this really worked as the final hype for Saturday's mixed tag match. So going into Bash in Berlin, as we know, it's going to be Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest against Dirty Dom and Liv Morgan of Judgment Day in a mixed tag match at Bash in Berlin on Saturday morning, which is gonna be a pretty okay match. So we'll have to see if they can finish the job in Berlin, or if the Judgment Day emerges victorious. We're gonna have to see. My money's on the Terror Twins. My money's on the Terror Twins because I think Rhea's finally gonna get her hands on Dirty Dom, and Rhea's finally gonna get her hands on Dominic, and we'll get a Riptide in there for Dom. Absolutely. Oh, by the way, just a side note, Dom got a Riptide last night, so Dom is gonna. I think Dom here is gonna get a Riptide or two. Miss Liv Morgan will finally get put through that table that Rhea has been trying to put her through. So I really, my money's on the Terror Twins. My money's on Priest and Rhea here. Next, we got not Judgment Day. We got Damage Control going up against Sonya Deville's new faction, the Pure Fusion Collective. They as we have here, this rivalry wrote its latest chapter Monday when Io Sky and Kairi Sane defeated Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark in tag team action. And this is a well-timed with thanks to a well-timed assist by the returning Zelina Vega. So Zelina Vega made her return after being out with injury. Avenging a backstage assault by Baszler and Stark and Sonya Deville, Vega laid out the Pride Fighter, preventing her from interfering on behalf of her teammates. Sane and Stark took advantage, with the former delivering the Insane Elbow for the victory. So Kairi Sane hits her Insane Elbow, and Damage Control, babyface Damage Control here, picks up the win because, now we have Pure Fusion Collective, who are obviously the heels here. So babyface damage control is obviously the baby faces here. And I personally, I love Io Sky. I love Kairi Sane. I am so glad that Kairi Sane is back in the WWE. I love seeing, she is so good. Kairi Sane is really, really good in the ring. So is Io Sky. I love them both. I cannot wait for Asuka to come back, though. That's gonna be good. So the follow-up's gonna be important, especially as it pertains to any sort of loose partnership between Vega and Damage Control, which ought to be interesting, which ought to be good. But the more women's tag action we get, on Mondays and Fridays, the better. Because as I've said, I mean, I'm a broken record on this. The women's division definitely needs to be more dominant on the show. Give these women time. I mean, the women in your women's division, not only in your singles division but in your tag division, are a talented bunch. Give them time. Let them show what they can do in the ring. I mean, give them more than just 5 minutes. Give them 10, 15 minutes in the ring. Let them show you what they can do. I mean, because WWE has very talented women. Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, Kairi Sane, Asuka, Io Sky. Let them show what they can do in the ring. I mean, give them time. Make your women's division more prominent on the show. So a little advice. I mean, I know I'm not one to give advice to WWE. I'm just a fan, but give them time. Give them more time. Backstage, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods talked about their big night as part of the number one contenders Intercontinental Championship tournament. But obviously there was still clear tension between the both of them as the future of the New Day gets murkier each week. So I think we're getting close to a split of the New Day. I think we're getting close to a Woods heel turn here, which we haven't had that I can recall since he's been in the WWE. And since New Day has been a faction, I don't think they have ever been heels. I think they've been baby faces the entire time. Then we got a video message from Bo Dallas / Uncle Howdy, which saw him call Chad Gable a false prophet and claimed he is leading Lambs, the Creed brothers, and Ivy Nile to the mouths of wolves. I love this. I absolutely love this. I love this Bo Dallas Uncle Howdy character. I love this. I love how Bo is honoring Bray with this faction. This was, I think, Bray's vision for the Wyatt Six. What he wanted them to look like, what he wanted them to do. And Bo Dallas is just taking that and showing the WWE universe, showing the world what Bray wanted, and honoring his brother here. I love this faction. This is This is an awesome faction. I absolutely love this. Then we got a Drew promo. Drew McIntyre hit the ring for one last promo before his leather strap match against CM Punk on Saturday. So he talked about destroying the straight edge superstar and said it's iconic to. It said it's ironic that the 50-cent piece of junk bracelet on his wrist causes so much drama because the strap that is around his other wrist will be Punk's downfall. And which brought out the babyface CM Punk for a brawl that was immediately broken up by security. But now before Punk unloaded on them with the strap. And this was perfectly acceptable. This was a perfectly acceptable go-home segment, but everything between Punk and McIntyre feels like a placeholder until we get to the actual match, which is going to be an absolute banger. And you do this strap match, and a lot of people, including myself, are going to say this. A lot of people are already saying this. You do the strap match at Bash in Berlin, and then you go to Bad Blood and do Hell in a Cell, and then there's your trilogy. In my opinion, there's the trilogy, and you have Drew and Punk move on to other things. But who knows where this could go? I mean, this could not end at Bad Blood. But then the question becomes, what do you do next? How do you continue to feed this rivalry? But you got to start. You got to do something for, after Bad Blood. You've got to do something for Survivor Series. You've got to do something going into Royal Rumble. You've got to do something going into WrestleMania season. Starting next year. So. What do you do? You could start building. You could start building Punk and Seth, and then move Drew on to something else. It's gonna be interesting to see where they go. And we know the story. We've seen the brawl, and it's just time to write the last chapter in the feud. Hopefully in a match that is even better than their SummerSlam encounter. Yeah, the SummerSlam one was meh, was okay. McIntyre equated the fans' cheers for Punk to be to enabling him, inflating his ego, and giving him a false sense of security that he can beat the Scottish Warrior. He said that Drew said you've got chosen nostalgia over the Warrior, who's always been there for you through the darkest days. Obviously talking about the pandemic. Talking about the pandemic there. That was a pretty dark day in the dark days in WWE. Obviously with no fans and Drew winning WrestleMania. Beating Brock Lesnar in the Performance Center. And then after the match, Braun Strowman cut a backstage promo on Bronson Reed ahead of their match, which was taking place later in the show. And then in the first Intercontinental Championship #1 contender triple threat match of the night, it was Kofi Kingston, Jey Uso, and Karrion Kross battling to see who would advance to the next round. A fast-paced contest culminated with Uso catching Kross with a spear to pick up the victory and advance in the tournament for a shot at the unstoppable force that is Braun Breaker. So Uso would figure to be the favorite to win the tournament given his star power, but there has been questionable creative decisions over the last few months when it comes to the former right-hand man of the bloodline, so it would not be surprising if he is knocked out in the next round. And regardless of this, Uso remains mega over and is a good choice to roll with as the first contender for Braun Breaker's title. Yeah, there's some questionable booking decisions here for Jey Uso. Um, if you're gonna, as a singles guy, he's as a singles guy, he's not been booked very well. He It's just some questionable booking decisions. If if you're going to if if you're gonna do questionable booking, if you're gonna get ready to reunite him and Jimmy to help out Roman, then that's all well and good, but book him better. Don't book him so questionably where you've got fans, and even Rikishi came out and said, even questioned the booking. Even as Rikishi, his dad, came out and said, "Why are you booking Jay so poorly?" Basically, what the heck is going on? Why are you booking Jay so poorly here? So yeah, I mean, I don't know why he's being booked so poorly. I mean, this is great. He's in the Intercontinental title picture, but it's like, what are we doing with Jay here? Why is he being booked so questionably here? The guy is obviously uber talented. Okay, the guy is obviously uber talented. The yeet has gotten over big time. Okay, the yeet is mega over. So, if you want to, if you're gonna reunite him and Jay, then maybe do something to write him off of TV for a little while, and then bring him back with Roman, maybe after Bash in Berlin or after Bad Blood, going into Survivor Series War Games. Bring him back then. I don't know. But let's not just start questionably booking Jay here. Okay? So yeah, here we go, some key takeaways. Uso and Kingston put aside a long history to unload on it's probably supposed to be Cross here in a early fun spot. Cole, a commentator whose research skills are so on point. Michael Cole is the GOAT of broadcast, of announcing, of broadcasting, of commentating, whatever word you want to use. Michael Cole is the man. I love Michael Cole. Michael Cole does his research. Michael Cole is so good at what he does. So good at what he does. So yeah, his research skills are on point, and an underrated element of his performance on the headset. Absolutely. He revealed that Kingston won a tournament to win one of his 4 intercontinental titles, which was a great stat. I didn't even know that. I did not even know that. So this is a pretty fun, action-packed 3-way that kept the ongoing storyline involving the New Day and Karrion Kross at the forefront, while reintroducing Jey Uso into the title mix. And it was not a match that would set. It wasn't going to set the world on fire, but it was a pretty nice tone setter for the rest of the action that was to come. As the locker room chases for a shot at Braun Breaker. And then we got Randy Orton cutting a promo ahead of his World Heavyweight Championship match against Gunther at Bash in Berlin on Saturday. Orton took this to the squared circle to express the importance of the contest. He recalled the demons he faced and the significance of the world title to him, and stated that a decade ago he was the youngest to hold the title, and he unified it with the WWE Championship, and I forgot about that. He did. I forgot about that. And in Berlin, he will be battling for the right to move into second place all time world title wins with 15, to be tied with John Cena and Ric Flair. And this version of Randy Orton is like the best version of him. And it's his ability to step back and appreciate his career for what it is, which is so true. One of the best ever. And he connects with the audience because he's real and can use his experiences to tell stories. Absolutely. And he did that here, enhancing the quality of the promo and the gravity of Saturday's match against Gunther, which absolutely. And he said, "You guys sing along to my to my music. You guys singing along to my music means the world to me, even if it took 15 years to do it. And you've watched me grow and get humbled time and time again. Gunther has never been humbled, but this Saturday in Berlin, that is exactly what I plan to do." And then we got Braun Strowman versus Bronson Reed. Two big, beefy, meaty dudes going against each other. Give me this all day long. Give me this all day. Give me two dudes, just two beefy dudes just going at each other. So the war between Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed ended inconclusively on Monday as the monstrous big men, they brawled out of the arena through the backstage area and into the parking area. And having caused so much chaos and damage everywhere, they fought around a car, with Strowman chokeslamming his opponent on the vehicle and tossing him across it. Good Lord. Reed recovered and downed the monster among men with a pipe, and then delivered his best tsunami yet, crushing the big man through the roof of the car and exploding the window out of it. Hello. Good grief, man. This is why I love Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman. This is why I love this kind of stuff between these two. This is why I love wrestling right here. For this. You got two big dudes just going at each other, brawling to the backstage area, brawling around a stinking car, okay? Gets chokeslammed. One of them gets chokeslammed onto the vehicle and then tossed across it, and then you have Bronson Reed getting up on the brick wall outside by the car, delivering a tsunami and I mean exploding out the window of the car. I mean, gosh. This was another in a series of star-making angles for Reed. Absolutely. Triple H is building Bronson Reed, and I love it. He's building his star power. He's building his, just making him a star, and I love it. And who is as hot as any heel on the show right now. And someone who will ultimately end up winning, and someone who will ultimately end up winning fans over, if he can continue to unleash, hell, and as he has done since his attack on Seth Rollins, and that's basically what he's been doing. He's just been unleashing on every WWE superstar in the locker room. I mean, Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman, R-Truth. I mean, the Bronson Reed has been just unleashing, I mean, unbelievable. And it was made even more impressive by the beating coming at the expense of Strowman. And lest we forget that Braun Strowman is a former Universal Champion who is perpetually over with the fans. Absolutely. Totally forgot. Reed delivered a picture-perfect tope suicida ahead of the commercial, whipping Strowman out at ringside, and the big boys got some mad beefy chops in. The Monster Among Men showed great strength in slamming Reed off the ropes. Strowman chokeslammed a staff member through a snack table backstage, and loved it. Then we got our second triple threat match to determine the number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship. The Miz, Xavier Woods, and Pete Dunne. And much was made here of Woods' lack of a singles title in his WWE career. But it was a long time tag, but it was not the long time tag team specialist who earned the victory. Instead, it was the Bruiserweight who broke up the referee's count following Woods' top rope elbow drop, tossed him to the floor, and delivered the bitter end to the Miz for the win. And so this was a much better match than the first three-way. Obviously, thanks to the chemistry of those involved, Pete Dunne, The Miz, and Xavier Woods just absolutely deliver. The reversals and counters were much more fluid. The spots were more fun, and the finish was clever, with Dunne taking advantage of the rules. Again, Woods fell just short of proving he could succeed on his own. Something that we will likely prove significant in whatever direction the New Day storyline and prospective breakup takes, which is true. So Dunne defeats The Miz and Woods. Backstage, Braun Breaker took exception to Uso's comments about him, warning him, "No one in your family ever beat up on anyone in my family." And Jay would not be the first. Given the times the Steiners battled the Samoan SWAT team / head shrinkers, there's a wealth of history to pull from for a potential feud. Oh, absolutely. When the Steiners were in WWE, yeah, they always beat the head shrinkers, and even when in their time in back in the territory days, their time with the Samoan SWAT team, yeah, I mean, there's a ton of history. And honestly, The Miz, is he the smoothest worker in WWE? He works so hard. Everything looks so clean, pristine. Everything looks clean, and nobody gets hurt. Nobody gets hurt in any of his matches. And that may be the most underrated, one of the most underrated elements of his Hall of Fame career. And yeah, The Miz is his first ballot Hall of Famer when he retires. He's a 2-time Grand Slam champion. The guy has won multiple tag titles. Miz has done it all. Then we got a pre-tape promo with Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, and then embraced the role. They embraced the roles of the bad guys and said Mysterio and Morgan do not have to play victim because they will make them actual victims in Berlin. I love that. And they said, and Priest said, "We're your devils, and we're coming for you." Love that. Then we got the in-ring debut of Uncle Howdy. And before the main event of Raw, check this. Bo Dallas's last match in the WWE came on November 13th, 2019, in a tag team contest against Chad Gable. So in 2019, when he was part of the, I believe when him and Curtis Axel were with the Miz, I do believe. Yeah, when they were with the Miz, and they were the B team. And I can't remember at the time who Chad Gable was tagged with, but I think it was Jason Jordan. I believe it was Jason Jordan. So Monday, Dallas assumed the guise of Uncle Howdy, the leader of the Wyatt Six, and squared off with Gable in one-on-one action. Interference from Ivy Nile and the Creed brothers late kept Gable. Let's try that again. Reverse. Okay. Interference from Ivy Nile and the Creed brothers kept Gable. Interference from Ivy Nile and the Creed brothers late kept Gable in the match. Dexter Lumis, Joe Gacy, and Eric Rowan appeared, fending the heels off and allowing Uncle Howdy to secure the victory with his sister Abigail. And this match was actually quite good, especially considering Howdy had not competed on television in just under 5 years. And he had the unenviable task of keeping up with a workhorse like Gable who can out-wrestle anyone, but he never appeared outmatched. So true, so true. The emotion the man under the mask incorporates into every performance is clear and elevates it. The odes to his late brother Bray Wyatt and friend Luke Harper / Brody Lee were evident throughout Monday's match. His performance are for those who come before him, and it makes watching what he has accomplished with this Wyatt Six story all that much more rewarding. Absolutely. Like I said, he is honoring his brother here. This is definitely an ode to Bray and his vision for the Wyatt Six. What they were able to, what Bray wanted to do with this faction, what he wanted this faction to be, and Bo has just taken that to another level. Bo has just elevated that and taken it to levels that Bray could not that Bray was going to take it but never had the opportunity to because we lost him so young and so tragically. But yeah, I mean, so many odes to his brother, and I love it. I absolutely love this. I love Bo Dallas. I love Uncle Howdy. I love the Wyatt Six. I love this faction and just how they are just using Bray's vision for what he wanted, and I love that. You know, and so Howdy stunned Gable with knees and proceeded to dance with his limp body. And Corey Graves said, "I competed against Bo Dallas psychologically, And he said, this is not Bo Dallas. Absolutely. Howdy needs a mask upgrade though. The one he works with pales in comparison to what we have seen outside of the ring in pre-recorded vignettes. Oh yeah. So you had two different masks on here. So again, another exciting episode of Monday Night Raw. Got some hot angles. Emphasis on the rivalries that will play out in Berlin on Saturday, and a great introduction to the squared circle for Bo Dallas / Uncle Howdy. Absolutely, the Judgment Day Priest Rhea Ripley stuff was absolutely on fire, and continued to be the most consistently over program on, and continues to be the most consistently over program on Monday nights. And while Punk and McIntyre's interaction felt like just more of the same, there's no denying that fans in Providence were all over it. They were loving this. So while we could have been, while there could have been greater emphasis on Bash in Berlin, and while Bronson Reed here, obviously Bronson Reed looks like a true monster. Main event in waiting, and we got two solid three-way matches plus action from the women's tag division that really continues to heat up. Some will say there could have been a greater emphasis on Bash in Berlin, and while that may not be wrong, what we actually got was quality action that meshed well with stories, and that will be a significant part of Raw's long-term future. Absolutely. So going forward here, storylines were furthered. Storylines were furthered here, leading up to Bash in Berlin on Saturday. This was a solid episode of Raw. Again, Bo Dallas / Uncle Howdy's in-ring debut. I mean, good for Bray, good for Bo. I mean, and just the like I said, the ode to Bray and Luke Harper / Brody Lee here was pretty cool. And his finishing move being the Sister Abigail, as homage to his brother Bray. I love that. I love that. I love that homage to Bray here. Jey Uso winning, Pete Dunne winning, Bronson Reed just being a monster heel here, and taking out Braun Strowman. Loved that. Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest going against the Judgment Day. The storyline is getting better. I think they're making a Judgment Day here seem much more vicious, much more, like gang style, not, so I like this. I do. I like this. This match is gonna be good. I really think this match is gonna be good. Giving time to the women's tag division. That just continues to heat up. That women's tag division is starting to heat up, with Pure Fusion Collective, Damage Control. So that's starting to heat up a little bit. So that's starting to heat up. Randy Orton, Gunther, Randy Orton going for his 15th championship win on Saturday at Bash in Berlin. That's going to be good. It's going to be really, really, really good. Really, really good. I am looking forward to watching all these matches at Bash in Berlin. And Raw just kind of was a good episode. Just kind of furthered each of those stories. Furthered each of the. There was storyline progression there. Each story got furthered. They're just little things here. And yeah, I mean it was a good episode. Like I said, the in-ring debut of Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, really good. This feud between American Made, the Creed brothers, Ivy Nile, and Chad Gable and the Wyatt Six has been really good. Has been really good. I'm not surprised at how good this is, because I knew when the Wyatt Six made their debut that this is going to be a different Bo Dallas. This is going to be a Bo Dallas that was going to just dive in headfirst to this Uncle Howdy character and take Bray's vision for what he had for the Wyatt Six when he came back at Extreme Rules. And we had, if you remember, we had the Wyatt Six throughout the arena, and that was the original plan. That was Bray's plan, to have the Wyatt Six, and Bo has just taken the reins of that, the mantle of that, and just taken the reins on that and just taken it to a whole nother level. It's not the dark, spooky, silly. It's the dark characters that it's got a bit of spooky to it, but it's more dark, and just it's more this dark, sinister, these more dark, sinister characters. It doesn't lean heavily on the spooky, which I really like, because I like how Triple H doesn't lean on the spooky. He meshes and blends the spooky with the he meshes the spooky with the reality, and I like that. And it's more, you just have this more sinister group, with this more sinister babyface group, which I love. I love the Wyatt Six, because I loved Bray. Bray was one of my favorite characters. And so this was a good episode of Monday Night Raw. Like I said, furthered everything. So we'll have to see how things shake out on Saturday, and looking forward to Friday for SmackDown to see how storylines get furthered on the go home episode of SmackDown before Bash in Berlin on Saturday. And on another note, sadly yesterday, at the age of 63, Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid, passed away, lost his battle with cancer, and so, thoughts, prayers, my prayers go out to his family, as they're grieving their loss of their dad. And so yeah, my prayers go out to them. Prayers for comfort, and just to get through this difficult time. And one of my favorite, one of my favorite Sid moments. I liked him in WWE. He was former WWE champion, United States champion, WCW United States champion, WCW World Heavyweight champion, and his feud with Hulk Hogan in WrestleMania 8 was really good. His match with Hogan was good. He did a guest referee spot. So I mean, yeah, I was surprised to hear the news of Sid passing away. So again, my prayers go out to his family, but on a, like I said, not to end on a sad note, but overall, again, like I said, this episode of Monday Night Raw, from what I could tell, from what I was looking through the results, and seemed like a really, really solid episode. So yeah, it's the Bash in Berlin is gonna be is just days away, guys, days away. So gonna be interesting to see how things play out. Let me know how you guys want things to play out. Let me know if you guys how you guys feel about the Randy Orton Gunther match, and how you guys thought about the promo with that Randy Orton did. Let me know what you guys think of the Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest, Dominic, Dirty Dom, Liv Morgan mixed tag match going on at Bash in Berlin. Just let me know your guys' thoughts. Let me know your guys' comments. And again, let's make sure we're nice and polite in the comments, guys. Let's make sure we're only talking wrestling here. Just your wrestling comments, what you guys thought of Raw. Again, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, guys. Thanks for watching. We will have another episode later on, guys. I will catch you guys in the next one. And remember, when you're Hollywood Steve, it's for life.